is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Chance Bishop Show for episode 59 of our Madden 23 Philadelphia Eagles franchise mode. As we take a look here, the Green Bay Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals are going head-to-head in the Super Bowl. But unfortunately, the Philadelphia Eagles are not in the Super Bowl this season. They got bumped in the first round. But hey, Nick Sirianni, he is named the head coach of the NFC Pro Bowl team. So they're asking him a bunch of questions, a bunch of nonsense stuff like, hey, who on the team would you not want to date your daughter? His daughter's like 4. Calm down. Anthony Richardson, he's QB1 for the NFC team. Any other big name Eagles on the team? Malata's there. Dickerson's there. Patterson's there. Martin's there, and Lane Johnson. Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Brian Breezy's DT1. Any linebackers? No linebackers. Trayvon, Darius Slay. Okay, there is a lot of, even more, Gilkin and Elliott. So more or less the entire Eagles squad has made the Pro Bowl. Way to go, Philadelphia. Way to just be the best you possible. The Bengals defeat the Green Bay Packers. Unfortunate for Aaron Rodgers. But hey, Joe Burrow gets his first ring. He breaks the trend of NFL QBs that make their debut, their first ever Super Bowl is a loss. They never make it back and they never win one. Good for him for breaking the stigma. Richardson on the season, 1,200 yards for Bijan on the season, 6 touchdowns. 1,000 yards from Devontae, 1,000 from CD, and 1,000 from AJ. Let's see, 8 touchdowns leads the team, not too bad, not the most. Lane Johnson, 17 sacks allowed. This game was just brutal when it comes to pass blocking. 94 tackles leads the team from Kaiser White. 51 tackles for loss, 30 sacks lead the team. We have 2 players above 20, 3 players above the 15. We have 14 picks from Trayvon Diggs, 10 from the next guy behind him. We have a bunch of fumble recoveries, bunch of fumbles. How many safeties? 1 safety on the season. We have a bunch of touchdowns. Look at all those touchdowns defensively we have. Now, Elliott, perfect from extra points. He is 32 for 35 on field goals, so he's doing pretty good. Gilkin, 36 punts for 1,800 yards, 940 return yards, and 328 punt return yards. Now, Burrow and Heineke, they're the top 2 passers in the league. 45 touchdowns leads the league, and Cameron Ward leads the league with 22 picks on the season. Derrick Henry leads the league with rushing yards, 2,000. 20 touchdowns from Taylor leads the league for the running backs. Bijan leads the league in fumbles. 2,100 yards from Cooper Kupp leads the league for receivers. 25 touchdowns. That's going to lead for receivers as well. Cooper Kupp killing it. 20 sacks allowed by 2 different players. 18 sacks from Donovan Smith. 152 tackles leads the NFC. 29 tackles for loss. 21.5 they're saying is leading the league. And yeah, for some reason, Trayvon and Hassan just not qualifying is awful. Elliott has the most field goals attempted. He's got the most extra points, I guess the longest field goal. He does not have the most extra points attempted or made on the season. He's down there a bit. Punts, nowhere close. Return yards, we're second for kick return. And where we've punt, we lead the league in punt return yards. Way to go. You have hired head coach, offensive coordinator, former Colts head coach, Frank Reich. Yep, that was a stroke I just had, but Frank Reich comes back to Philadelphia. You like to see that one right there. Take a look at those who have retired going into, out of this season. Brett Kern, Lane Johnson hangs it up after an awful season. 17 sacks. Zach Martin hangs it up. Ryan Suckup, Matt Paredes. There's a lot of, Julio Jones. He's a former Eagle. We got a lot of people. Eric Fisher, former first overall draft pick. Van Rotten, Joe Hayden, Clinton Dix. Take a look at players that still need negotiating going into free agency. A lot of these depth guys, I'm sorry, we're just not going to end up bringing them back. Hassan Reddick, he's 30 years of age. Come on, player-friendly deal. Bring him back for a couple extras. He's a Philly kid. He went to Temple. He loves the Eagles. Show him some respect he deserves. James Bradbury, 82 overall. Even if he goes down to like a 78, he's still a great depth corner. That's what he is. He's corner 4 on this team. You got Trayvon, Darius, who's regressing, and Levante, who's kind of like that weird stage where he's going up and kind of down at the same time. But James Bradbury, he's a perfect corner 4. Reed Blankenship, dude, love me some Reed Blankenship. Reed Blankenship, the UDFA, gotta love it. Gotta love it. He's just killing it on this team. Special team god right there. He's the Chris Maragos of this team. So way to go, Reed Blankenship. Josh Jobe, depth corner. He's corner 5 on the roster, technically. So yeah, you got the big 3, and then you got Josh Jobe at corner 4. Take a look at who's available in free agent market. We're going to say probably not anyone we're going to be entirely looking into. We're kind of figured out all the way through in this franchise on, hey, who's going to go where. But we're letting the special teams guys go, or at least let them test the market, and Gilkin and Jake Elliott. There's a lot of players out there. We saw Javon Hargrave. He's popping up. We let him walk in our first season. Marcus Mariota, we're bringing him in on a 2-year deal. Backup quarterback. He's got the mentor tax, who's going to help Anthony Richardson grow and develop a little quicker. Blake Gilkin, bring him back on a 2-year deal. Come on. He's done fine for us. 2 years, we could spare the couple. 2-year, very friendly deal. Very friendly deal. Same thing with Jake Elliott, a very friendly deal right here. We're the only offer for both of them. Walker Little, bring him to be a backup left tackle for Philadelphia. We need the backup offensive line depth, especially after we lost our starting right tackle. We need just to fill out as much depth as possible. So Walker Little, Kendrick Green, bring him in for 2 years just to be a depth guard behind Dickerson. And now, hey, I'm looking forward to our to Jordan Davis. What we're expecting from him. He's a building block. He deserves a long-term contract. Well, yeah, it's Jordan Davis, former first-round draft pick. Dude just eats the run. He's coming back. Are we going to accept his 5th-year option? Yeah. Why would we not accept Jordan Davis's 5th-year option? Plain and simple, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Like, why not just accept his 5th-year option? The AI in this thing goes, I don't think he quite cuts it. It's like, he's your starting D tackle. What do you mean he doesn't cut it? Take a look at where players have signed. You have some players signing in some strange places. I feel like Kadarius Toney goes to the Rams. ETN goes to the Ravens. Greedy Williams goes to the Saints. There's just people are going everywhere. Free agency is a very wild time. They had said Justin Fields went to a different, like the Panthers or something. And he kind of flew by right there. But feel free to slow this down and take a look at where some of these players are signing. Elliott, Gilkin, Kendrick Green, Walker Little, and Marcus Mariota all come to Philadelphia for their short-term deals. Their 2-year deals. And now the Steelers, they have the first pick in the draft. They're going to go with Campbell. Perkins is going to go to the next team up. Miller goes to the Lions. The Raiders take Hunter. The Falcons take Burden, the 3rd wide receiver. Williams goes to the Panthers. All right, the Patriots take Patterson right there, the right end. We have the Saints taking Foreman. We have the Bears taking Everett, the cornerback. We have Jackson, the corner out of USC, going to the Vikings. All right. We have Nick Singleton going to the Colts, which is strange because they have Jonathan Taylor. J.J. McCarthy goes to the Rams. All right. We have Walker Nolan going to the San Francisco 49ers. We have Cade Klubnik going to the Broncos. We have Goodwin going to the Ravens. We have Aller going to the Jets. Let's see. We have Marvin Jones Jr. going to the Browns. We have Starks going to the Bills. We have Campbell going to the Cowboys. We have Brown going to the Cardinals. We have Evan Stewart going to Washington, wide receiver right there. We have Kanik going to the Texans. Delp going to the Chargers is a tight end. Okay. We have Nate Anderson, the center, going to the Titans in the first round. C.J. Donaldson, the tight end, going to the Bucks. So 2 first-round tight ends. We have that guy, the right tackle, out of BYU. Zach Rice, the right tackle, he's going to the Chiefs. Philadelphia's up next. Now, Philadelphia. That's the team we're looking to do. Kelvin Banks Jr. Kelvin Banks. There you go. Starting day 1 right tackle, hidden dev, the heir apparent to Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson hangs up the spikes, and out comes Kelvin Banks. You know, we just find one after another when it comes to franchise offensive linemen. Plain and simple, that's just kind of how this cookie is going to end up crumbling, where we just find players that fit the mold. We find the perfect player. They fit the scheme, and we're going to get them, regardless of where they're at. That's just how it works. You know, you find what you need, and you replace it. I'm going to take a D-tackle here in the second round. Kenneth Grant, you know, backup D-tackle, kind of replace that Milton Williams-type player, you know, because we're missing some D-tackles. He's just going to be a normal dev, 350 pounds out of Michigan, so he's a big boy right there. And that's what you like to see. Garrett Hayes, the left guard. Sure, we just signed Kendrick Green, but he's going to flip to right guard, Garrett is. And he's going to be behind Cam Jurgens. Beef Jurgens going to have himself a new backup in Garrett Hayes, a 6'5", 323-pound, you know, out of TCU. Now, take a look at Philadelphia. What they do, you got Banks, you got Grant, you got Hayes, you got Frank Gore, Glenn Penn, Kevin Harris, and Jamori Robinson rounds out the draft. And I'll feel free to slow it down. Take a look at every team drafted in the league right here. You know, we have this is the last year of real prospects. So after this, it's just going to be a bunch of computer gen players. But hey, it's going to be something to look forward to. You know, how the computer gen player is going to mix and match with these types of players, with the, you know, user control draft classes. It's going to be something that we need to look into. Like, hey, how our overall is going to equate? Are we going to have lower overall first rounds? You know, are we going to have, you know, some first rounds where it's just like, yeah, every player is awful, and we're going to have some, like, 7th round, like, 70 overall gems? Or is it going to be like, yeah, everyone's kind of like a high 60, low 70. Doesn't quite matter. They're all kind of just depth pieces and kind of trashy. But who knows? It's our last year of these, you know, user-controlled, you know, draft classes. But take a look at Philadelphia going into the season. The offensive line's kicking it. You know, we have an offense in general. You know, Bijan, Anthony Richardson, Devontae. Defensively, absolute studs back there. Ronnie, CJ, Trayvon, Darius, you know, Sweat, Breezy, you know, Hassam. And even the special teams is killing it too. But if you guys enjoyed this episode, hit that like button. Comment down below, text on YouTube, though. Peace out, rock on. Stay super classy.